How long did you fast? Oh, wow, till 2 almost. Jeez, you're taking this serious.
I know.
I started taking protein shakes with my
Is it because you're trying to bulk up?
my allocations. Not bulk up. I'm trying to turn stuff into muscle.
You already have a lot of muscle.
There could always be more muscle. Because technically, like, I'm not trying to bulk. It's just I would like to, first of all, feed the pythons. That's number one.
Number one. It's very important.
Yeah, I'm a snake person. No, because then that way
I'm a snake person too.
So, Mrs. M, we're gonna have to pick up our kids in like 2 hours. Okay.
I'm starting off strong.
Yeah. So just feeding the pythons. Don't want to. Besides, it's going to be a lot easier to have cheat meals when you have more muscle mass on you.
Good point.
There's also another thing that they're saying. There was a doctor, more like a research scientist, on Rogan's podcast about longevity, and like, I guess science right now is figuring out a way how to turn back your, what do they call it? Clock. Your internal like aging clock. Biological clock, exactly. So essentially, as human beings have been around as long as we have, they've always based off of like our age, how many times the sun goes around the earth, and instead, like that's not accurate. Like you should be like how you feel is kind of your age. And so what they're finding, things like intermittent fasting reverses your biological clock. Obviously, clean eating, exercise, diet.
Sleeping well.
Sleeping well is a huge one. Supplementation.
And here we go again with the sleep studies.
No, we're not going to go to sleep.
We're not going to go to sleep.
Right. But so those really reverse the aging.
Yeah.
And apparently he was saying something about like you can tell person's age better by their earlobes, which is weird. I don't know how, but I guess
they start drooping more when you're...
I don't know, the elasticity, which kind of actually is a good theory, like if it's the elasticity. But
that's like, isn't that more like skin related? What if you just have...
Yeah, but everything, like, I mean, I'm sure your skin's not going to be the greatest if you're not sleeping well and not eating well. But what was wild is that, and you could tell because he's doing all these, there's a few people who are kind of like at the front of like research of how to reverse your biological clock. And both the guys that are presenting on it, the data, they're both like they look 10 years younger than they really are.
Yeah.
And you could say that's genetics, but it's like, no, you look at the family and they're like, no, that's not the case.
You can only take genetics so far. Like,
yeah. Heat shock proteins, that's another one where you do like the hot, cold stuff, ice baths. Ice baths are big on that. Saunas are huge on that. But it's past a certain timeline that you have to be in there. So it's not like you're going to go in a sauna that's 180 degrees and be in there for 15 minutes and be like, cool, I'm doing the thing.
No, I reversed my biological clock 1 year.
I now identify as somebody who's 2 years younger.
I'm now 31.
Put it out there into the universe.
I just want you guys to know.
But they're saying they're because they're measuring these markers, these inflammatory markers or these heat shock proteins. And they're saying it's like 30 minutes at like 180 degrees and more or something like that. But how did we get started on this? But yeah, that's what
we're always talking about food.
The intermittent fasting and all that stuff. I do feel so. I've been doing intermittent fasting for probably a year now, and more consistently, but more strictly, the whole like one meal a day in the last maybe couple of months, and I truly like feel better. I feel better. I have more energy. I have less bloating. It's
interesting that. Remember like the whole, you got to eat 5 meals a day, 5 small meals a day to like boost your metabolism or yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's the same time where they said that you based off of
the food pyramid. And it's so funny grains. That like, I remember thinking back to it. I was like middle school and this was all like the hype. You got to eat 5 small meals a day and keep eating because it keeps your metabolism. And I remember my mom.
And that's only 20 years ago.
Less.
That's like 15 to 20 years ago that they were saying this.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago. I feel like for me, I still heard it like 10 years ago.
What did your mom say?
Well, I remember my mom,
Olga?
When I was like in probably like middle school, we just ate really bad. And my mom, we were always in the kitchen eating. And my mom would tell me, you need to let your stomach like relax. Like you're constantly putting food in it. It doesn't have time to like digest. And she would tell me, you got to let it like just let your stomach breathe a little. And I'd be like, no, everybody says you have to keep eating.
Yeah.
To boost your metabolism. You have to keep small portions. And my mom was like, I don't know if that's right. So maybe she was right all along.
I heard the Europeans over there, they don't really restrict themselves on anything, but the difference is that they have like 20 different things a day, but they're just small little things. So
and the food is healthier.
Right. It's not as processed, but I do believe that, what do? We go to lunch and then we stuff ourselves and then we get sleepy, right? The insulin spikes. And
I do think there is a science behind eating just a little bit.
Correct.
Even if you're not even like in between meals, but in like almost like in place of a meal, you eat like a little, just a snack like we do for lunch. I don't really eat a lot. And then you become...
First of all, don't say we, because you've been on this for 3 days now. So you can't take you're on my,
today I'm winning.
My daily regimen. And so you're like, so what we've been doing. I was like,
but I've been doing that too. I would eat just like a tiny salad.
Yeah, but still, the salad would have like,
No, I just put oil and
oh, do you?
Vinegar. That's all. Or no, I do oil and lemon juice. That's it.
But the fasting is important because I realized, and I think the science is realizing, that what ends up happening is when there's a prolonged period of food restriction, your body starts eating up like cancerous cells and it actually starts healing itself. So the research is showing that when you don't eat, your body's healing. And then when you do eat and you're full, your body's almost like in the relaxed stage. So it's not like actively working and killing off blood cells, bad blood cells and bad microbes. And
yeah, that's very interesting. Science,
folks. Go ahead.
Jinx.
Go ahead.
Jinx. Well, I was going to say, I thought it would be fun to spice up the podcast today.
What were we introducing a third person in here? What are we doing? Kyle's got the
Kyle,
mic.
take the mic.
Kyle, your mic's on.
No, let's play a game.
Okay. This is interesting. I like this.
I don't think we've ever done how well do we know each other game.
Is it one of those games where like kill F and marry?
And go.
No.
You got Donald
first.
Trump. Yeah. You got
Oprah Winfrey.
And
Fauci.
And Fauci.
Got to marry one, sleep with one, and kill one.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
No, what do you got? Let's play how well do we know each other. So I'm going to ask you questions about me, and then you can ask. Okay, I'll start easy.
Okay, so you're asking questions about yourself that I'm supposed to answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I feel like, okay.
We'll start it.
Please don't start with your birthday.
In what month, day, and year was I born? No. What is my favorite color?
Oh, man, these are hard-hitting questions. Based off of the way I see you doing things, I would say a form of green. Yeah. Okay.
Something like an olive, dark green.
And the only reason is like there's a plant right behind you. There's plants everywhere.
If you've seen my Instagram profile, you will know.
And by the way, with the business name of Mint and Pine.
That's true. So I have done olive.
Olive, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you should have been like the color and family of shading of that color. What?
Olive green.
Is fuchsia anything green? No, fuchsia is like.
Or do you want to take turns? We'll take turns. So I asked you one, now you ask me one, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. So let's see here. Oh, how many scars do I have?
Excuse me?
Yeah, how many scars do I have?
Like 1 million. I know you have one.
Why'd you point at my eye?
You have one right here.
That's not a scar.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Maybe.
It's a scar. You told me.
Oh, yeah.
You got in a fight with a bear.
Yep, true.
That's what I heard.
No, I didn't get in a fight with a bear.
No, you have a scar right here.
Okay.
And you told me once what it was, but I can't remember. I don't know. You have at least 10. You don't even know how many scars you have.
I don't.
Why did you ask me that question?
Well, I thought you could. I guess I was trying to trick you and be like 1. And I was like, because my arm broke, my broken arm.
Oh, you should have asked how many bones you broke.
Well, that's easy. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've only been. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. Let me get you a better one.
Give me an easy one to start.
Get you an easy one to start? Okay. How old was I? Oh man, these are hard. I don't want to like ask you like my favorite color, you know?
Why?
Well,
start.
Well, actually, okay, fine. What's my favorite color?
Army green.
ODE green. Okay. So
what's ODE?
It's like military. Do you know what ODE stands for? I have no idea. I know. Okay. So, all right. It is military green. Yeah. It's like that dark olive. Yeah.
What's my favorite food?
Dang, you thought about this today. Mm-hmm. I wish you told me this. Like, hey, think about your favorite food.
Why would I?
I would have to say sushi, but that's my favorite food.
Now you can't ask that question.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Is it sushi?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You know, actually, it was a trick question.
So indecisive. Why?
Because I don't really have a favorite food.
Oh, those are not fair. That's like asking the number of scars.
I don't care.
Okay.
You should have known that.
Okay. What's my waist size?
You just want everybody to know your waist size.
Hey, how big is my penis?
How much do I weigh?
tell the
stop
people.
Right. What? 32.
Yes. Okay. Nice. You knew that.
I did.
Okay. Go ahead. Your turn. You wrote these things down?
Oh, just a few.
That's not fair. I'm shooting off the cuff.
Easy.
I wanted to make this nice.
Well, you can play. What is my pet peeve? I mean, you could ask the same question as I did.
Your pet peeve. Chewing loudly.
Yes.
But I think that's like majority of the people.
I know.
I think it's majority of people.
Mine is, but I get pretty annoyed with it. And I think our kids have that too. I always hear them yelling at each other, "Stop chewing so loud. Don't sit by me. I can hear you chewing."
Okay. So I will borrow some of your questions. What's my pet peeve?
When people are late.
I do have a few. I do have a few.
You do have a few.
Now, okay, so people are late. That's fine. That's true. That's very true. But what is my pet peeve with you?
Ooh, when I'm indecisive.
What really grinds my gears with you?
When I tell you what project to work on next?
No.
When I'm indecisive. Do I have to be more specific?
Well, I guess it's not fair because I think I have like a hierarchy tier of like pet peeves. I do.
Okay, what is it?
So you're right about like indecisiveness. I don't like when people are indecisive.
What's the top?
It's a tie. It's a tie between boxes that are not broken down.
Ooh, that's pretty high up there.
Okay, and you get a lot of boxes. And then the other half of that tie would be, we did a full episode on this, is hoarding things where it's like,
I do not hoard things.
Open any drawer in this house.
That's our kids. That's not me.
Okay. Well, you like to keep their stuff like they did it
only
our project.
Our stuff. But then Beckham has tape everywhere.
Don't throw him under the bus. Don't throw him under the bus.
He's the hoarder. I need this piece of cardboard that I left in the drawer 5 months ago. I might use it, Mom. That's Beckham.
Okay.
Because admit it, before we had kids, I didn't have all that stuff, all the junk. It's just kids.
That is true.
Stuff.
You used to have a bunch of craft stuff.
And that was it. Yeah.
That was it. You're
in a very organized manner.
Well, hold on a second.
And also,
what about this closet right here?
Well,
that I moved everything into the middle of the garage where your car should be.
But the closet's not ready yet.
It's not ready. But all the stuff that you kept putting in there was boxes. I actually found 4 boxes that are unopened that you had ordered of things.
Well, it was for somebody. It wasn't for me. And then I took them.
Like there's a curtain rod in a box. There's a box of candles. There's 2 laminated in the boxes in their own original packaging picture frames.
Yeah, those ones I took because I used them for a client.
And of course, there was a rug in there. I don't know how you fit a rug, but there was a small rug.
Listen, I need a closet for all the things I might use someday, but don't need right now.
It's called a storage unit. We spoke about this before.
But I want a closet.
Okay, your question for me.
Okay, those are good. Except I'm not a hoarder. I want everybody to know that.
There's a few episodes ago that we.
I don't get defensive about a lot of things, but that one I will. I don't like being called that.
You don't like it what it associates with,
well, because
right?
if you think of a hoarder, you think of somebody who cannot get rid of any of their stuff. Their house is like full of junk.
Can we say like a classy hoarder?
Classy.
You're like
no. I don't think you could be a classy hoarder.
Okay.
Also, I try to organize that junk drawer like so often, and the minute I organize it, it gets destroyed by
what about
which one of our kids?
What about
and now Harper gets in them because she climbs into the bottom drawer of the buffet console that you made, or the built-ins. She climbs in the bottom drawer and then climbs on the bench and gets into the drawer.
Yeah.
And now we have a third kid going into the junk drawer.
What about the drawers in the bonus room with the media console?
Actually, haven't used those yet.
Really? Because there's stuff in there.
It's not true.
It's 100%.
There's games in there.
Yeah, that's the only legitimate
and
organization.
And your pool stuff. Pool table stuff.
There's some cue balls in
wow,
there.
You're such a hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder.
I'm not.
All right, go ahead.
What's my shoe size?
Dang.
What?
No, hold on a second. Hold on. I remember it's a something/something, but I think that's all girls, right? Like you guys have slash sizes. You're a 7. You're an 8.
No.
You're a 6. Okay, well then it's not fair for me to keep going up or down.
No, it's a half size.
It's a half size? That's not fair.
Why?
You truly are. No, you truly
I
are
truly
just
am.
You truly are just a half size. Because I have shoes that I'm at 12 and I have shoes that I'm at 11 and a half.
For the majority of my shoes, it's this size.
You're a 7.5.
Yes.
Whoa, what up?
Because
see, Kyle, this is what a strong marriage is.
Except it took you 5 guesses, but I'll give it to you. Whatever.
Okay, let me think of a good one. What food that I hate?
Red peppers.
Be specific about the red peppers.
Raw red peppers.
Amen. I like
they
roasted. They
have to be roasted or cooked or soft.
And if you said you roasted them, but they still crunch, get out of my house. Get out of my house.
Yeah, he won't eat the stuffed peppers.
Yep.
I make from scratch. Not from Costco.
From my great aunt Costco.
Her last name's Kirkland.
Kirkland.
Grandma Kirkland.
Grandma Kirkland passed this on to me.
Okay, what's my favorite place to shop for clothes?
For clothes,
a
lot of stuff is getting delivered, so I don't know where you go.
For like myself, not for the kids.
Oh well, I know, but like, I don't. Like I never hear from you going like, "Hey, I'm going to so and so." I hear you say, "I'm going to Zara," not Zara, Ulta to get
Sephora?
Makeup stuff. Sephora now. Okay, so Sephora. But when it comes, like, I've never heard you be like, "Hey, I'm going to Nordstrom's" or anything like that.
I'll give you like between 3.
So I've heard you say this word. I don't know exactly what it means. I don't know how to use it in a sentence, but you've mentioned Madewell before. But you
that's in the top 3.
Okay. Is that older person clothing store?
Excuse me?
Well, I don't know, because you said about an older person, a friend of ours, and you're like, oh, she loves to shop at.
Who?
Well, I don't want to put anybody on blast.
Oh, Madewell? No, definitely not old person.
No. Okay.
It's
not like the New Balance store.
Chico's.
My mom loved Chico's when I was younger, which is funny that I know that about my mom, but I don't know.
That is interesting, but you don't know where I shop.
So Madewell, I've heard you use that in a sentence.
So a lot of my jeans, I love. A lot of my jeans are from Madewell.
Okay. By the way, is this your way of like secretly like brainwashing me to like surprise you with gifts? Be like,
where I
got your gift card from.
Where's
Madewell.
my favorite jewelry from? What is my birthstone? What is my birthstone?
December is okay. So December.
I don't think you'll guess it because I didn't even know it. The boys and I looked it up.
December was clear.
No.
Hold on a second.
April is also clear. Is not a birthstone.
Oh, it's well. I thought you meant like color of the stone. It's not diamond.
April's diamond.
April's diamond. Coal? No, I'm kidding.
Perhaps a lump. Of coal.
Lump of coal. A hardened kidney stone. I don't know. What is it?
It's blue topaz.
Oh, topaz.
It's like a light.
Like Saint Topaz.
Yeah. It's almost like a turquoisey color.
Which is weird because I think it's
yours is like
emerald. Isn't it emerald?
No, emerald. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Emerald.
I shine bright like a diamond.
It's funny because Harper's is June and hers is actually like this really cute pink color.
Yeah.
I'm like, how appropriate. And Jack's is sapphire.
Sapphire. Boy, these kids are bougie. Also, who's associating? Like, who's the guy that sat down and go, "Okay, we got to figure this out.
We got to figure this out, guys.
What do you think?"
Well, I mean, I guess it's because blue.
How would blue associated with? Well, Christmas.
Like
I get
Christmas snow. I don't know because November's is like orange, which is like fall, kind of. I don't know.
I wonder if December.
I bet February is like ruby or something.
Clear diamond would make more sense to me for December because it's cold.
Ice.
And then people are doing crystal meth because it's so dark.
Because it's so cold. So that was the only reason why you would have clear.
That's what I.
What's your birthstone? Clear.
Meth. It's the color of blue meth.
Next time somebody asks you, what's your birthstone? Clear.
Okay, bye. I'm so cultured. Okay. Next one for
yours.
You.
Your turn.
Okay, I gotta ask you. Okay.
Those were most of mine.
Okay. Which I'm gonna ask this one, and I'm not entirely sure, but maybe you'll point me in the right direction. What project have I been the most frustrated with that I've ever made?
Ooh.
That you wanted me to do, but I was the most frustrated with.
That I wanted to do. Well, I can only think of this bathtub recently.
I don't think I was that frustrated with.
No.
Oh, yes, I was.
You were telling me you.
Yes. The installation.
But I didn't see you get frustrated. So I guess for me that was different.
Which project you got hit? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think back even to our old house. You had some that you were pretty frustrated with.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember which ones.
Oh, yep. There's one that stands out in the back of my mind.
In our old house?
In our old house.
Okay, let me think. That I wanted you to do.
You wanted me to do, and I had...
Oh, was it the shower?
No.
Master shower? Mm-hmm. No. Let me think. Was it a bathroom?
Mm-mm.
What?
Mm-mm.
What did you do that you... Oh, the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The stairs was a...
Daddy was not happy with the stairs. Which is funny because there's like 3 projects that kind of like kicked off my YouTube career, and that was
stairs
one
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, all that hardship.
Worth it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
I made a career out of it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I do remember the stairs because it was it wasn't just like taking the stairs, what is it called? The carpet off and putting wood. You like did the railings and everything, and you welded. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that was a difficult one. Okay, one for you.
Oh.
Your turn.
Okay. What sport did I play in high school?
You got really good questions, man. What sport did you play? Basketball. What?
No. It was a trick question. I didn't play a sport.
You played, didn't you sign up for basketball?
No. So in middle school, I signed up for basketball.
It was basketball, see?
In middle school. Because all my friends were playing it. It's not like I really liked it.
Sick.
And then my mom, I went to tryouts. My mom told me she wouldn't try tryouts. My mom, is that from something?
Yeah, it was Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, where the guy's like reading his tree. It's tryouts, buddy.
My mom said she wouldn't drive me to practices. I would have to ride my bike.
That's such a cold answer.
Which was kind of far, and it was like up a hill. I know. And yeah.
You could have both ways. Stories.
Yeah. It was uphill both ways. Okay. And I was like, I don't want to like ride my bike and be tired and like go to practice. Anyway, I was like, ugh. And so I just like didn't show back up.
And you never played a sport ever?
No, not like on a team at school. Yeah.
The other players didn't know I was playing with them.
I was on the team. Nobody.
You hop on a random thing. Like,
hey guys, can I play?
Who are you? Like, what are you talking about? I've been here the whole time.
I've always been here.
I'm a transfer from Saskatchewan.
I did really, really in middle school want to do cheerleading, and my mom didn't let me.
Yeah, I guess it was for the skanks. That's the devil's. That's a devil's playground.
It's the devil's sport.
There's no. By the way, why would you? No. Okay, what's the fascination with girls and want to do cheer? Is it because it's like a?
All the popular girls did it, and it was like their outfits were always really cute, and like it was kind of like dance, but I don't know. It was like the
dance
at
aspect.
least the schools I went to, like cheerleading was like all the girls wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. So my friends were like trying out, and I'm like, Mom, I really want to try. Nope.
Yeah. Well.
Shut down.
Look at you. You're not a stripper, which is great.
How my life would have turned out so different if I did cheerleading in middle school.
You would have been working at the Tic Tac Club if that was in the case. Let's see here. What can we go with you? What's my favorite number?
Do you have a favorite number?
I do have a favorite number.
Is it a double-digit number?
Well, no, I'm not going to help you guess my favorite number. What's my favorite number? Oh, by the way, that's such a childish thing.
I know.
Is a favorite number.
Is it like, well, so let me just ask you, is it based off of like...
The stars? Yes.
The stars and how they align?
It's astrology.
No. Is it like a number from when you were younger? A number you've always liked?
I saw it once on a Ouija board and I was like, that's my favorite.
Or is it like this is like a recent number because you married me? Now your favorite number is my birthday,
which is November 12th.
You're so close. Or is it just always a number?
It's always been a favorite number of mine. I've always associated as a well, when I say I'm laughing at this because when I said
your birthday?
Well, when I said it. It sounded like I realized how silly. It's like, so silly. The people who have a favorite number, adults who have a favorite number, are also people who count half birthdays.
Yes.
What's my favorite number?
8.
8. Yeah.
Really?
It is 8. It is 8.
I mean, I guess for you can have a favorite number because of your birthday.
It's all 8s. Very special. Yeah, it's very special.
It's very special.
I was born all 8s, 88 at 8:00 p.m.
I bet your mom just said you were born at 8 p.m.
I think you're right.
To make it like more dramatic.
She was like, because I was an accident, so I was like, oh, and she's like, no, you were so special that
even 8:00.
You were
an accident. You were supposed to be here because you were born even at 8:00.
Yeah. Well, my mom.
You were probably born at like.
Mom never switched to daylight savings.
Yeah.
It was really 7.
It was really 7. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay.
Did you just go?
Who's my favorite child? I'm just kidding.
Easy, the girl.
I love them all equally. Yeah. What city was I born in?
I know this one actually.
You do know it.
Первомайsk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But only because recently I told you.
Because it was 2 episodes ago we spoke about this. See, I listen. I listen.
But do you? Yeah, you hear, but do you listen?
Do I hear, but I listen? This is hard. I don't know. Kyle, do you have any questions that you would ask if you were challenge your spouse to?
No, I think the Madewell thing, like
it's. Have you heard of that store?
Yeah.
You heard it?
I've been in there.
Really? Is it nice?
See, Kyle knows.
Hell yeah. Sick, dude.
Anthropology's on the list too.
Anthropology, but that's not a clothing store, is it?
Is.
They sell. I thought it's always like trinkets and knickknacks and tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes. No, they sell clothes.
Clothes,
which I buy from.
Interesting. Anthropology. What's that store? Urban
Outfitters.
Not Urban. Is it Urban Outfitters? Yeah. They sell clothes too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Urban Outfitters. Yeah. They sell clothes.
Interesting.
But Anthrop has actually like not. So if you go inside their store,
do you regulars call it Anthro? Yes. Do you guys really?
Yes.
Target.
It's a thing.
Is Target no longer a pop-in place anymore?
I think it is like.
I feel like 5 years ago, every girl was all about Target.
Buying, yeah. I mean, the quality is not great. Like any T-shirt I would buy from there would have like a hole in it within like 3 wears.
3 wears, yeah.
But I still like their shoes and obviously their home decor.
Why shoes? Is it just
their sandals are like, yeah, good.
Do you remember when everybody and their mother had the Old Navy plastic rubber
sandals? Flip-flops?
Flip-flops, yeah.
Oh, those are so popular. I think they're still around.
Those are sick. Do you know how many times they broke on me?
Oh, yeah. Part? And I would have like every color.
And they cost like $3 or something like that.
$3.
Yeah.
I think they're still like $5.
Yeah.
I would have every color, like, because they would have like yellow, bright green, bright blue, red. I would have like every color under the sun.
Snag a set of puka shells at the front desk too while you're at it. I like it.
Yeah.
You got sick collar polos.
Polos, yeah.
Crisp collars.
What's my favorite place to buy kids' clothes?
Zara.
Yeah. That one's easy.
You know how I knew that one? Because of the box.
All the boxes that show up.
That don't get broken.
Because we don't have a Zara that I can go to in store and hide my bags.
I don't know. I wouldn't know that store if I didn't keep tripping over those boxes. This is how you get ratted out, man. You gotta hide the evidence better.
How tall am I?
You got a 3/4 number in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're 5'4" and 3/4 or something like that. 5'4" and a half. No, you're 5'3" and 3/4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. According to my info.
But you tell according to my Facebook bio.
3/4. They'll never put me like if I go to the doctor, they'll never say like 5'4". They're always like 5'3" and 3/4.
Name 3 of any 3. I don't have like a top like favorite movie, but name one of the 3 movies that I think are my top favorites.
Gladiator.
Facts.
Step Brothers.
It's a good movie, but I would say the top.
Really?
Mm-hmm. These are more serious movies.
Oh, okay. What's the other one you mentioned before? I only know Gladiator. Fight Club?
No.
What's the one? Shawshank Redemption.
No, you're just naming. Now you're just naming movies that are good.
I know, because they're good.
You haven't seen
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yes, good job.
Okay, there's one more.
There's one more that's definitely at the top. And here's a little tip: they have series. So there's 3 different series.
Oh, Matrix.
No, God, how dare you? What's this?
Oh, I know it. Okay, is it? What is it? James Bond?
No. Again, you're just naming good movies, but
no classics.
By the way, it's funny that you said Shawshank Redemption because you've never seen.
I have.
You've seen Shawshank Redemption?
I don't remember what it's about, but I remember I've seen
mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's where he has a shank.
and then he trades it in first off.
Is his name Shaw?
It's blasphemous right now. Come on, there's one that's like. It's also like at the top of like almost every guy's movie list. It's an action.
Action. Oh, you were just mentioned this to the boys. It's John Wick.
John Wick. Amen.
Yeah.
We got it. Good job.
I got all 3.
You got all 3.
John Wick.
Do you have favorite movies?
I don't know if I have a favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
have a favorite Audible book?
I feel like my genre of movies, or I like all different genres, and so because I like comedy, I like watching that with you. I like action, adventure, mystery. Don't like horror movies. Some rom-coms.
You essentially are doing this whole thing where people go, "What kind of music do you like?" I like all of it except country.
Yeah.
Like okay. Country. Cool.
Well, but really I know. But if you think about it, I listen to all sorts of music. I don't have like one specific type that I like.
You're a huge Pitbull fan.
Pitbull. Our kids are apparently.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's funny. They got style.
Yeah.
They got class.
They heard Florida is another one they've been listening to.
They go, Alexa,
play Florida. That's what Jack said. He said Florida because it shows it on the.
We got to urbanize these kids, man. We got to get them a little more swag, man. No. Florida.
That's good.
Great. Well, he's a good reader.
He is. You got it. I mean, that's what it looks like. There's a little space in between.
I'm thinking, what else is there?
Is there a movie I like?
I don't know you have any favorite movies. Yeah. You're not one to okay. Ever since we were married, you have 2 stages. You go one stage when we first got married for the first couple of years. You were known to just fall asleep on every movie.
During movies, yeah.
That's like your thing. Like you couldn't watch an entire movie. Just as soon as it started, you're already like blanket up and sleeping.
That was my thing.
And then now you're staying awake, but you will just be on your phone during the movie, and then you'll just be like watching it half watching it, half be on your phone.
But you do that too.
Yeah, but at least I still like sit down and watch the movies, and I don't have to ask anybody like what happened because I was on my
What's happening? No, that's not true. I'm only on my phone for a little bit, and then I get into the show or the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, this is interesting.
And then you ask me a million questions of what
Because
happened.
and I don't know.
The same movie that we were just watching together for the first time ever.
Because I need to know the facts and the information, and I feel like and you're keeping it from me.
You're right. I read the Spark Notes before.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Let's see here. Who's it on you? Is it on you or me? Who's supposed to be asking questions? You're supposed to ask a question.
Me? Okay. What's my favorite dessert?
Well, you can't have regular. You're like this dude right here. You can't have regular dairy. But I'm sorry. Was that a secret, Kyle? I didn't want to let the world know.
It's more of a goal.
It's
a goal. It's his goal.
I like it. You have a favorite. Oh, wow. This is hard because there's a lot of dessert that you cannot have unless you're paying the consequences. And so the ones that you do have, it's always some kind of dairy-free ice cream. You're a real scoundrel for peanut butter.
Scoundrel. I do love peanut butter.
I
think I like just like a classic chocolate chip cookie.
Really?
No, I don't really. That was another trick question. I don't feel like I have like one dessert, but I do love the dairy-free ice cream. But then Jerry's dairy-free ice cream is really good. But I also love just like a cookie.
There's something.
I'm not into like cakes very much.
There's something
Can't
pure
eat cheesecake.
about. There's something pure about a good classic chocolate chip cookie that's done right.
Warm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a favorite dessert?
I actually do.
Is it pie?
It's not
apple pie.
It's not good old fashioned mama's apple pie. I do have a favorite dessert. And it's not a candy bar, though I appreciate a certain type of candy bar. You know this.
Chocolate.
But I do have a favorite dessert.
Oh, it's tiramisu.
No, it's not tiramisu. I do like tiramisu. It's like
you love tiramisu.
It's one of the goats, but no.
Is this a cake?
This is a cake.
Oh, cheesecake.
You
love the classic
New York style.
New York cheesecake.
Or get out of here. All right.
You give me the cheesecake.
Or
get out of here.
Or forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. A nice classic thick one, like from the Cheesecake Factory, like a nice thickie. That people know what they're doing. People know what they're doing at Cheesecake Factory.
Nice thick boy.
Yeah, you go to any other place and they have their version of the cheesecake. I'm like, get out of here.
That's true.
Forget about it.
There's like a very distinct
it's fluffy,
texture
fluff
to those.
that it just melts in your mouth.
Cheesecakes.
You partner that thing up with a nice red wine. Forget about it. Forget about it. It's the most American thing you can do.
Truth.
And you know me, I'm a patriot. Let's see here. My question for you.
We'll have to do another round 2 of this, a different day,
like one in Spanish,
and come up with like really good questions. Yeah,
really?
One in Spanish or in Russian.
You could always do one like how many girlfriends you've had, but then it's like I don't know how to do that. Like,
do you even know how many girlfriends you've had?
I don't know what the kill list is. What my list?
What is your list?
I feel like that's like a game we shouldn't play.
Yeah, maybe not go down that road.
Because how much time do you have?
Not enough.
All right, that's all the questions that I have.
Well, I guess, okay, so in our last house, what was my favorite project that you did?
It's not the stairs?
It's the stairs. I'm pretty sure it's the stairs.
Yeah.
Because that was like the biggest change, I think, in that house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the stairs were like front and center. Do you miss having stairs?
No, not a bit.
I don't either at all.
One bit.
I feel like if we move again, I will not want stairs.
Do you know that I was actually thinking this the other day?
So nice too with Harper. Like we don't have to worry about her.
You know, like whenever somebody like takes a house, fixes it up, and then like flips it, and then they just kind of level up the next house. This is what our third house, right?
That we've remodeled.
Yeah. Okay. So
we both together,
very much equally.
Put in the effort
in the trenches.
In the trenches, building, sweat and courage and sweat.
Courage and sweat. All the courage and sweat.
Hammer time. Make mistakes.
You're on a roll today. You're just like a real comic here, just punching these off. I like this. You're really witty. I think you were used to tell me like you're like I'm kind of like brain fogged. I don't know what's going on, but now it's probably the intermittent fasting that's gotten us to you.
I know. I had like a tiny bit of food and it like spiced me up.
I told you. Save that spice for tonight.
A little later.
So you always go like, oh man, because when your earlier houses, it's never enough room. The kitchen's always not big enough. But you compromise because you get what you can afford. The backyard's definitely like a big issue as well. And every once in a while, when we're in this house, and I know how much equity this house is already building because of what everything has been done to it, and I'm always like, I'll go, oh man, there's one day we can have this like big house, but then I'll stop myself and I go, what is there that I don't like about this house? And the reality is like you can have a house that is like 5,000 square feet, right? Which is huge. But there's these rooms that you never use. There's an upstairs that you don't really go to, right? Right. But then, so the big thing that you really notice the space is the kitchen. Like if the kitchen's huge, because that's at the end of the day what everybody hangs. Right. And you have a place to escape, like a bonus room, that's still within proximity, like not like upstairs or anything. Excuse me. Then really there's nothing else like that you really need. Oh, in the big backyard, like with a patio or something like that. And this is the first time that I've actually stopped myself and I go, it's got a huge kitchen, which has next that overflows to the dining room, which overflows to the living room, meaning like there's endless amount of space. Right. You never feel like there's not enough room that you're running into people. The only real thing is like the backyard.
Yeah. Which isn't, especially with the ages our kids are, like, I don't know. It hasn't been as, I guess when we first moved, I thought it'd be more challenging and annoying to have such a small backyard, but I haven't noticed that. And I think it's because we live so close to the big park that we could just walk to. And then our kids also play in the front yard more than they play in the backyard. They're always playing basketball. They're always playing with their friends, and they're always in the front yard, which it was like that with our last house too. We had a bigger backyard. We were never really in it. Yeah. Yeah. So I have actually stopped myself and done that too, where I'm like, I love this house so much. Yeah. This is like,
it's the perfect amount. Perfect amount of space. Because if you add another 1,000 square feet to this house, I don't know what we use it for. Now I would like a bigger garage.
But I love the one story. I will say
yes.
I guess the only thing I would add or change is have like a guest room, and that's really it for like.
Yeah, a guest room would be nice.
But that's really it.
Bigger backyard. But yeah, I don't think I ever want to go to a second story.
I know. Just for like, that's where I would put the guest room, is on the second story. Yeah. In their own private little.
Little tower.
Rapunzel tower. You know what I thought about the other day? So when we first moved to the States from Ukraine, we moved to Portland, and we've had this little one-story house. It was small. Even as a kid, I like knew it was small. It had 2 bedrooms, I think. And my parents actually built a second story on top of that first story.
It's wild.
Isn't that crazy? And built 1, 2, 3 more bedrooms upstairs. Yeah. And a big bonus room too. So isn't that crazy to think that they built like a whole second story? Do people do that anymore?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
They do?
Oh, of course. That's like that's not a thing.
But also I thought about
my big question is
how do they do that? Because
you have to remove the trusses. You have to remove the entire roof.
They had to have had it like,
you just scale the entire roof, and then you take the trusses, which is a big endeavor, to pop them off, and then you build the platform, how much that was. Walls, and then back up again.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much that costs. But also, like, how did my parents do that? We like had lived in the States for like 2 or 3 years. And how did they? They were like
ambitious already. They're like, I
guess we got this. I'm like, my dad, found a job somewhere, but that's just crazy to me that they did that so early on, moving to the States.
That's also such an immigrant.
And
thing
how
to
they
do.
Find like, how did they? It boggles my mind. Like, how do they speak to people and like said exactly what they wanted?
The logistics, How do you figure those out?
Did they get like a translator? I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never asked them.
That's very impressive. But it's also such an immigrant thing to do, where you turn your house into what you want it to be. So it's like, if you don't have, then you just build out. You know.
Yeah, like we'll do it. Yeah. And I remember like we have pictures of like when I was a kid, and they built the stairs, and I have like a picture with my little Barbie car sitting on the stairs.
Sick. Love it.
And you know where we were living during that?
No, but I feel like you're going to tell me.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. The suspense is killing Kyle and I.
Drum roll.
Yeah.
In the garage of the house.
Really? Slumming it, huh? with the rats and.
Yeah, I don't know how we were doing that because.
What was in the garage? What kind of car did you guys have?
There was no car in the garage. We were living in the garage.
No, what the car that you had? What like the car that was supposed to be in the garage, so you took over its spot.
We had one of those little. It was red, old. I think it was like Volkswagen. It was like a hatchback looking little.
Like a Volkswagen Jetta, like a Volkswagen Golf.
Yes, I think it was an old Golf. Yeah.
Sick manual transmission.
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's an opportunity there.
And then we got
missed opportunity.
And then we got another. I'm trying to remember the next car we got. We got a van. I think after that,
Sick.
a Dodge, Dodge.
Yeah,
Caravan.
Caravan.
Yeah.
Caravan. Man,
like
you really know your car. You're really
from like the from like 1990.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure they were before the 90s because they probably couldn't afford like a brand new car back then. That was like 1995. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people did. Hey, let me ask you your take on this whole knucklehead that punched or slapped the goat, Chris Rock.
The goat. You know, a lot of people are coming for him.
For
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
What's your take on this whole? What's your take on the fact that there's this guy that he? I mean, I'm okay. So
I think it was out of line. That's what I will say.
Do you think he was truly bothered by what was said about his wife?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Do you?
I think have you heard more of the story? How she embarrassed him prior, I don't know how many years before with the cheating, yeah. And she announced it on the show.
Yeah.
And like really embarrassed him and from what I hear, like hindered his career with that.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
I don't know. I think a couple of years. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when it happened, but it's been at least like a few years.
It's a little suspicious when there's a joke
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I'm just suspicious of like how it all went down.
You don't think it was fake?
I don't know.
You were one of those.
No, I don't think it was like a setup between all the parties. Sure. I think something escalated inside of him, or he capitalized on a situation.
That's an interesting point. Capitalizing on it. And Will Smith definitely, because he started a YouTube channel a couple of years ago.
He's big on TikTok, isn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, he's on TikTok. I don't know how big he is on TikTok, but I know on YouTube he saw what the trends were. And then he went out with his team, and some of them were like they had to get on top of a building, like sneak on a type of a bridge and stuff like that.
So I mean, he's in that influencer space.
The space of going viral. He's good about that.
I mean, it did cause him to go viral, so I don't know.
But do you think, how they say like there's no such thing as bad publicity?
Yeah.
Do you think there's like this is definitely a bad publicity where you're the heel of the whole organization now?
But then it goes back to remember that conversation we had about Jake Paul, about how he's like always the enemy, like the bad guy, mm-hmm. but he like plays into it. I don't know if like this is something that he's just like, well.
Which is interesting because he
had to have known he's going to get backlash for. Or I guess in the moment maybe he didn't think about it.
He was such a fan favorite. Like
I know. Everybody loves Will Smith.
Big Willie.
Big
Will, the Wild West. You know what I mean? Everybody loved him.
The Fresh Prince. And
so he was such a favorite.
Yeah, that's why I think it bothers people because it's like, what?
There's a little tie though. I mean, so because his wife Jada Pinkett
Smith.
Yeah, she embarrassed him, and that happened. If there's this footage that they're showing that the joke was made, which is a very mild joke, and he started laughing, and she kind of like rolled her eyes.
Yeah.
And then Will kind of explodes.
So that's why I'm wondering what happened between the part where he's laughing and the part where he decides to do that. Like there had to have been some sort of escalation inside of him or something like snapped.
Do you think it was one of those things where you're sitting there and you're not looking at your partner, but then you laugh at the joke and
they look at you,
and you look at her, and then
you're
like
oh, giving you the
and then
crazy eyes.
You're like, I need
to do something. But why that's such an extreme reaction?
Yeah, there's.
I guess that's what people can't understand is like why the extreme reaction to that.
Yeah, and I wonder if their extreme reaction is the fact that he could get away with it because Chris Rock is smaller than him. There's also some kind of ego that has to be there.
Even if he would have shouted from his seat and said those same words without going up and smacking him.
That would have been fine. That would have been fine.
But it's like, why did you have to like get up and like, yes. I mean, in that moment, as he's walking up, he had to have known like, something's going to happen from this. Is going to be a big deal.
But I think when you're sitting at this world event that everybody's watching, a historical event, right? Because every Oscars is like a historical event. You're walking up there. You have to have a level of ego where you're like, no. I'm a big wig in Hollywood, and I'm gonna go up here without any repercussions. Yeah. Because if it was anybody else, they're like, I'm not gonna. I gotta just leave, you know. But to go up and be like, no, I have such an ego that nobody's gonna touch me. Like, and that was the wild thing about it too. Yeah. Security never came to escort. You put anybody from a low budget film or something like that.
Oh, immediately would be escorted out. Yeah.
But because it's Big Willie, I mean, nobody's gonna.
Well, and I think.
And he accepted his. And gave a.
That was crazy. That it was like
after.
Right after that, he
like nothing ever happened.
Oscar. Yeah.
And he did apologize. I heard he apologized, but I don't know what he apologized on Twitter or something like that.
Oh.
But he says, I want to be a vessel of love, not a vessel of anger or violence. And okay, that's fine. But you also have to understand that what you did publicly shamed Chris Rock in a historic event. Mm-hmm. Like, you could apologize, but still, like, no apology is not going to be that great.
Yeah. I heard Chris Rock has handled it really well.
Oh, well, he's a G, man. I mean, he's such a goat. He's he's a veteran when it comes. And that's another thing is, this is not a cry for attention, because you have two industry moguls, right? That like Chris Rock, one of the greatest comics of all time, and you have Will Smith, which is one of the greatest actors or entertainers even of all time. That none of them really need any kind of attention. Nobody's trying to rebrand themselves. They're not trying to take a hit.
Right. They're not like, I need to go.
They're like adults about things. And then something like that happens. And now Chris Rock also, I did see him because he's a stand-up comic. He's still going and practicing this material because he just announced a tour. And one video came out where they recorded him on stage, and he was like,
he's going to have some bits about this.
Well, yeah, but he's like, well, this is where he came out with. He says, how was your guys' weekend? And everybody's like laughing, and he's like, and he kind of he's making light of this, but he said this. He's like, now I'm not going to talk about it right now, and there will be a time that I'll talk about it, and it'll be serious, and it'll also be funny. But right now, I'm still just trying to process what happened. And I was like, that's such a crazy thing that you have to process that.
Right.
You can't.
Also, that's very like mature of him to know, like, this is too early to like talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Things need to like settle. I need to process this myself. Yeah. Because I'm sure he's still confused.
Right. This is the most wildest thing to me too. Like the convenience of this. He announced the name of his tour because everybody who has like a new hour special that they created.
Is he actually doing like a tour? He's going to places?
Oh. Yeah, Chris Rock.
It's not like a Netflix special?
Tour. Well, I think it will eventually be on Netflix. I think
this is probably part of it. Yeah.
Name. Let's see. This is wild how like convenient this is. Chris launches Oakland. Here's Chris.
His name? His tour?
The name of his tour, yeah. Let's see.
Oh, here. Is it like just like aligns with what happened?
It aligns so well. Let's see here.
That's so funny.
Chris Rock tickets. Ready? The name of his tour is called Ego Death. How wild is that? Ego Death.
That's kind of crazy.
Like, and you have to, like, the way you're acting about it, like, you have to put your ego aside, like, kill your ego.
That's wild.
You got slapped as you're hosting the Oscars about the most mildest joke.
He responded really well.
How do you girls view when a guy, let's say we're not talking about the celebrities, but we're talking about, let's say you and I are at an event. Let's say we're at a restaurant and some guy mouths off, right? It could be either like, let's say he calls you a B word, right? Like, hey, quiet, tell your okay, we're at a movie theater. Great example. We're at a movie theater. You are on your phone. The screen is bright light, lights up the movie theater. Somebody in the back goes, hey, put that phone away. And then you're like, oh, well, who's that? Well, I don't know. And you're still on it. And then they yell again, hey, tell your chick or tell your B to put that phone away. So clearly that's an attack on you, right? I'm your husband sitting next to you. automatically run out of there, right? no, a
guy's you leave and say, hey, you got this?
A guy's natural response is to be protective. So he has this, I would have a confrontational, like, hey, who'd you call what? Kind of thing. Or keep my wife's name out of your mouth. No. So violence, for the sake of that. How would you like for your husband?
Oh, I don't know. That's like a hard one because everybody's so different. I know some people like to stand up for themselves. Some people...
Well, you wouldn't stand up. Knowing you
I wouldn't.
No.
And some people don't like any confrontation. Some people just want to get out of there. Some people will say nothing. Some people want to let them have it. Everybody's so different. I personally because I'm not a person to defend myself, because that's not really my personality. I would rather just melt into a ball.
But then
but I think naturally... that for to be honest, for me, that would be, I would appreciate that because it's like somebody's defending me.
But what if
my honor?
Your honor. What about?
But also depends on the situation because sometimes, you would never do it, but some people respond in a really big way responding to such a small thing, right? So it's I don't know.
Well, I've responded in a big way to a small thing. Remember last summer?
Oh, yeah.
That hindered our relationship.
Yeah.
So I have no problem.
Kids. That's another one is
that was a kid situation that I need to be protective of. But so in that situation, so we're in the movie theaters. If it came down to me saying, again, that guy used words, I'd use words back, right? But let's say he didn't like that, and that led to an altercation. Do you feel like I embarrassed you, or do you feel like that was unnecessary, or were you G's up?
yeah. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how I would react. I feel like if you did nothing, I would feel kind of
yeah.
Wait a sec. Yeah.
Yeah. You're I didn't know I married a girl, a lady. I didn't know
why didn't you stand up for me?
I didn't realize there's two ladies in this family.
I guess it depends how you respond to the situation. And I mean, knowing you would respond really well.
Kill people. No.
You just what did you say?
I just bark, Sarah.
Show me your muscle. Yeah, you start barking. If you bark, that's great. I like that.
It's so funny how you girls don't know about what a classic altercation would be because you're you show them your muscle. What? Are you seeing this? Look at this.
You see this,
bro?
I don't. I really don't know. Because I only have seen the movie altercations that are so fake.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start flexing my biceps. Yeah. You got a problem? I'm like a meathead off the Baywatch from the 70s. You're that's what altercations were. Okay, so you wouldn't because there are girls out there that are would be embarrassed that the guy took that to a violent situation. They're you're embarrassed as there's no need for this.
No, I think obviously it always depends on the situation, but it's if somebody's defending the person that they love, how. Mm-hmm. But then it goes back to this situation. His was obviously an overreaction. Mm-hmm. Do you think she's telling him I'm embarrassed?
No. Well, I think that's actually a great question because of her history, and I think there's a part that if he didn't react, then she would be embarrassed that she was kind of on her own.
Yeah.
Now, but also, it's such a mild joke that nobody would be oh, did you just hear that burn? You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody's gonna talk about it. It would have just slid under the rest of the.
If it was truly a good one, and keep picking a roast, then you're he embarrassed me in front of all these Hollywood elites.
So much.
These Hollywood. Have you listened to some of these roasts, Hollywood roasts?
They're intense. I listened to some of them with you. Some of them are bad.
They're bad. They're comparing
they
people
go
to
low.
Hitler, telling them to go kill themselves. You're
they go low. Ooh.
Yeah. So I think he also has some mental. I guess he's got a biography that he came out with a little bit ago, and he talks about the messed up childhood and even after his thing with his wife, it messed him up mentally. And
that's why it's hard. It's people are disagreeing and stuff, but it's I don't know. We don't know what was going on in his head, I guess.
Regardless, the answer is here's the best one I've heard that would make both parties happy, the proper way to respond from. Mm-hmm. I heard this is a great take on it that he should have, Will Smith should have either yelled something from the seat.
Right. That would have been appropriate.
Or as he said that, he could have walked on stage, grabbed the mic, and be
something.
Hey, listen, because apparently Will Smith had. By the way, I've done some digging on this. If you can't tell,
I can tell.
Apparently, Will Smith and Chris had conversations prior to this multiple times where I guess Chris Rock made jokes about her before, and Chris was like, "Oh," Will came up to him privately and was like, "Hey, listen, I know what you're doing, but just she's not liking to just lay off the jokes."
Oh, so he kind of
and
asked
so
him.
he basically, it was like his way of kind of going like, I told you to keep her out of your mouth, and here you're still doing it. That's what I hear. I don't know how accurate that is.
Right. If that's just hearsay.
But the best, classiest thing you could do, like, folks, class it up, right? So the classiest thing at a class event would be go up there, you can peacock, you can grab the mic and say, hey, I talked to you before, let's talk later. This is,
find me after class.
You're a damn fool.
Yeah.
That's fine, because that'll still embarrass Chris Rock, but that's not like
the physical altercation.
The physical altercation,
not necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
because that's what he wanted to do.
And then you can just take your lady and you guys can leave. You know what I mean? And be like, Chris, man.
I think that's what a lot of people are saying. Is like, why didn't you just walk up, get up, and walk away?
Actually, that would have been a huge hit on Chris Rock, where it'd be like, wow, you're such an asshole that you made somebody leave.
Yeah.
And they did it in a classy way. When somebody does something in a classy way like that, you're like, dude, class it up. That's the next
That is a classy. And I think, class it up.
Class it up, folks.
I think that's what I was hearing from a lot of people. It's like, that would have been probably the best.
Yeah. Don't laugh. Just get up and then leave if you're really, truly that upset by it. But don't just defile this
also
memory.
Was he not sitting next to his wife, because they were like across from each other, right?
Oh, it looked like they were next to each other.
Oh yeah, I guess in the picture that I saw, or maybe it was like cut in half, like one side, but it almost looked like he was sitting across from her.
I think they were trying to, I don't know how they were shooting it. Yeah, well, these are a lot of hot takes, man.
Hot takes.
A lot of hot takes.
Oh, that should be our name of our segment. Hot takes.
Hot takes. I like it. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Episode 80 came in hot.
Coming in real hot
with these hot takes. Learn a lot about each other. Learn a lot.
Maybe we'll learn a lot more in the next 10.
Go ahead, rate and review it anywhere you're consuming this content. It helps with the algorithm. And more importantly, go check out the YouTube channel. That way you guys can see the way we look.
The way we look.
Cool.
The way
Thanks.
we act.
Bye.
Bye.